Good morning, St. John's.
Good morning.
I am honored to stand in front of all of you and speak to you about my journey. As many of you know, my name is Adaora Igbo, now Muya, and St. John has been my home since 1999, 24 years ago. I was born and raised here in the DMV by my Nigerian immigrant parents. Being raised in a Nigerian household is not for the weak, but they have always made sure that we know God no matter what is going on. When we first moved from DC to Prince George's County, my parents were searching for a church home. They were looking for one that was similar to the Anglican church that they were used to back in Nigeria. They tried a couple of churches, but one day my dad saw the sign at the top of the hill and decided to bring us here. Everyone was so welcoming, and my brother and I got along with the other children. Reverend Kathleen Jordan, may her soul rest in peace, was the rector at the time, and families like the Marshalls and the Campbells, just to name a few, made my family feel like home. And who can turn down the fellowship afterwards? And we have been here ever since. At a young age throughout the years, I saw myself becoming more and more involved. I served as an acolyte, assisted with International Day, and joined the choir. I also was confirmed here at St. John's. When I went off to college in Pennsylvania, it was difficult. I was 5 hours away from home, and I didn't know anyone. My faith with God grew during this period. The lessons that I learned right here in Sunday school and from the many church retreats I attended through this church are what kept me going. I decided to find a local church out there, for at the time, St. John's didn't have an online service. And luckily for me, there was an Episcopal church right outside of campus. It wasn't a St. John's Beltsville, but it was close enough. And I thank them for accepting me during my years there. 4 years later, I officially came back to this church that was near and dear to me. Upon returning, I was asked by Miss Liz and Miss Mary if I would like to become a Sunday school teacher. Do you all understand how cool it was to be asked to become a Sunday school teacher by the same ladies who were my Sunday school teacher when I was growing up here? Talk about a full circle. Reliving the Bible lessons and songs that I once heard as a child has been amazing. Getting to see the children you teach recite the Lord's word for word, the Lord's Prayer word for word, is so touching to know you played a part. We truly don't understand the impact we have on children on their journey with God. I am now in my 9th year as a teacher here. Let me also not forget that I served on the vestry for 6 years. I remember growing up, my dad was a vestry member here as well. And I looked at it like, wow, this must be an important group he's a part of, only for me to turn around years later and become one as well. Another full circle. From budgeting to outreach to checking in with the congregation members, it was indeed an important job. And getting to bring young ideas and experiences to the table was an honor. Attending service every Sunday is great. However, participating in leadership roles here has given me more purpose and more meaning to serving God. And I have St. John's to thank for that. This church wouldn't be the church that it is today without the many leadership roles that help run it. From the greeters that put a smile on your face as you walk through the door, the acolytes ringing the bell and carrying the cross to the altar, which, by the way, carrying the cross was one of my favorite as I was an acolyte, to our beautiful choir, to the readers, and that's just to name a few. I can literally go on and on. Not to mention that there's so many additional hands that work behind the scenes here at St. John's in order to keep the building running. As a young adult, I've gotten a much better understanding as to why so many of us love coming here. We are not just a church on the hill. We are a family. I've been here for 3 rectors, Reverend Kathleen Jordan, Reverend, now Bishop Paula Clark, and Reverend Joseph Codson. And each one, during their term, has made it their mission to love this church, to love the congregation. And as a result, the congregation has done the same, to old and to new members. We are indeed a family. That's why our mission statement reads, to share God's love with everyone, to bring hope and change lives. St. John's saved me. It saved my relationship with God that many young adults, or my generation for that matter, have slowly drifted away from. You all have kept me grounded that no matter what, look to God for guidance. I might not know how to recite every Bible verse off the top of my head, but I know I serve a living God who watches over me and my family each and every day. And I one day pray that I'm able to show my future children the same path, and that they too will get the chance to walk the same hallways I walked at St. John's. I also pray that we all get to see this congregation continue to grow in the years to come, and that we continue to shine God's light to others. I would like to close with one of my favorite lines that Father Constant faithfully says every Sunday that has always been close to my heart. Life is short, and we don't have too much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel away with us. And so, be swift to love and make haste to be kind. Thank you to my lovely parents, Emmanuel and Ada, for bringing me here, and thank you, St. John's, for loving me. Amen.